Hi everyone. I hope you've been enjoying the warmer spring weather and are looking forward to the long Victoria Day weekend. Today I want to talk about three things: diversity and inclusion here at BCIT, increased access to vaccines, and our fall reopening plans. On diversity and inclusion, I know it's been a challenging time for some of you, and I'm sorry for that. I want to assure everyone in our community that BCIT remains fully committed to ensuring all students have access to and feel welcome in our programs, and that all faculty and staff are recognized and heard in our community. Earlier this week, our Respect, Diversity, and Inclusion team, led by Shireen Tales, launched BCIT's Anti-Racism Framework. The framework outlines BCIT's plan for 2020 to 2022 and was developed by the RDI office in collaboration with SFU's WAS Center for Dialogue and BCIT's Anti-Racism Working Group. Thank you to everyone who participated in its development. It's an awesome plan and we need to live it. I hope you'll take time to review it and get involved in this important initiative. I'm so proud of the work that's been done to date and the work that you're doing as a community as well as we learn and grow together on this topic. The province of BC recently announced that just over half of eligible British Columbians have been vaccinated, and many more vaccines will be arriving and available in the coming weeks. I was very happy to receive my vaccine a few weeks ago, and I've spoken to many other students, faculty, and staff who feel the same. If you haven't had your first dose yet, I hope you'll register either online or by phone so you can have an appointment and get protected as well. While it's important that we continue to follow all the COVID measures now, mass vaccinations are a key to getting out of this pandemic, keeping everyone safe, and getting life and learning back to normal. And speaking of safety, I want to touch again on our evolving plans for the fall reopening. Many of you will have seen the last week's academic update on this topic, and Jennifer Figner, Associate Vice President, Academic Operations, will speak to this shortly. I know September feels like it's a long way away, and some in our community have expressed concerns at the safety of our reopening. So I want to assure you that all BCIT Dean's Council and Emergency Operations Center team are working very closely together to create a made-for-BCIT approach to the reopening centered around health and safety of not only our students, but our faculty and staff, and ensuring a rewarding and valuable applied educational experience for the students. It's also important to keep in mind that based on current forecasts, many in our community will have received 2 doses of vaccine by fall, which is another reason why getting vaccinated is so important. With that, I'll now ask Jennifer to expand a bit on our evolving plans for the fall. Jennifer's done so much work on this. Over to you, Jennifer.
Thanks, Kathy. You know, I was just reflecting this morning that it was almost exactly 14 months ago that I joined you on video to talk about how we were changing our learning and teaching in response to the COVID pandemic. And at that time, I most certainly didn't think those changes were going to be quite so long-standing. I'm really excited to be joining Kathy today to talk about the return of a substantial amount of academic activity to our campuses. And I want to start by recognizing that we already have a fair bit of this. 40% of our programs have returned at least some activity to in-person instruction. But many of us have been working and learning remotely for the better part of this time. Now, not everything about remote work has been terrible. I've been in bare feet or fuzzy slippers for about 390 of the last 400 days. And these real shoes on my feet today, I am not a big fan. But I have very much missed the vibrancy and energy of our campuses. I began my career at BCIT as an instructor, and I've also been a part-time studies student. There's a lot to be said about the energy of learning and teaching in a face-to-face setting. I know that when the public health announcement back in March indicated that there would be a full and safe return to post-secondary education, it was challenging to envision how that was possible. Case numbers were climbing, vaccines were not rolling out as quickly as we might have hoped, and variants were appearing around every corner. But, as they've demonstrated in spades throughout this pandemic, our government knew what they were talking about, and things are looking better by the day. There will be new health and safety orders issued in August, and it looks that conditions will be such that we can bring as much of our learning and teaching back onto campus as we want, which is awesome news. Now, that said, everything won't be exactly the same as it was back in February 2020. As Kathy mentioned, all of our planning is based on safety first. But after that, we're making decisions on what returns to in-person delivery based on how we can teach and learn most effectively. So much has changed over this past year, and we've discovered some new ways of learning and teaching that are even more effective than what we were doing before. So we're going to keep those and continue to build on them. Many of our programs are going to incorporate blended learning modes in ways that are most effective. I know that our deans and associate deans and faculty are working hard to determine the specific format for each of our programs and courses, and we will have those details posted on our website next week. I will also continue to communicate as frequently as possible as overarching decisions are made. I just watched the video from 14 months ago for the first time, and in it, I said something that continues to ring true to me as we embark on this transition back to in-person learning and teaching on our campuses. We will do it safely, we will do it well, because we are BCIT, and that's what we do. Take care.